I'm going to keep my speech very brief, and I can see you all nodding and saying that's a good idea. But at the end of the day, this is merely a defrocking process. It is the end of my time as the president, and it is about the purpose of handing over the reins to, as I said before, what was the name again? Oh, Fiona Kendrick. So I look forward to doing that in a moment. Look, it's been an incredible year for the industry as a whole. As you know, there's been an enormous amount of change in that industry and an enormous amount happening in that. And it'd be easy of us in the year following our centenary to fall into a kind of lull. Well, we didn't let that happen. We've been very busy this year. When I took on the presidency at the beginning of the year, I said I wanted this industry to be more recognised for its innovation and to be part of its future vision. And many of you have contributed to that and built that into the work you've done over the last year. And for that, I thank you very much. And we can see that vision taking shape in many parts of our industry. We have this year welcomed our first students onto the master's course in food engineering at Sheffield Hallam University. And I know some folks from Sheffield Hallam are here this evening, so welcome. And that course has well become established, and I understand even this evening that interest for next year is even increasing quite significantly, which is great to hear. And you have your new incoming president to thank very much for that, who's played an enormous part in both establishing that and garnering support for it and working with industry, as well as Gavin, who I think is somewhere here this evening as well. Look, I'm hoping even that will go even further and we'll have a waiting list for next year. The omens are certainly good, and the industry is certainly increasingly being recognised as one that is a smart career move, and particularly in the more technical functions and engineering functions, something that we absolutely applaud. To put simply, if you think about this industry, it is a world leader, not just for thousands of new products that we launch every year, but how we innovate in every area of our operation. But we're constantly looking for new opportunities, constantly looking for new possibilities about the way we do things and how we can improve. And most crucially, we've continued to invest in innovation, about £1 billion a year. And if you look back over the year, look at some of the achievements we've secured during the past 12 months. Nearly £7 million of support for the National Centre of Excellence. We produced a 5-point authenticity guide, which was commended in the Elliott Report after the horse meat episode. And lastly, the industries continue to play a lead partner with the Department of Health in the responsibility deal on public health. One new development, which is of significance, is the fact that after 9 years, our own Director General, Melanie Leach, is deciding to move on to new pastures. And I'm sure you'd all like to join me in thanking Melanie and applauding her for those past 9 years. If you think about those 9 years, they've been a period in which the industry has changed phenomenally. It's faced constant change and some very significant challenges during that time. But she leaves the FDF as the #1 voice of the food and drink industry. Among her and FDF's achievements during this time have been things such as the 5-fold environmental ambition, and I think I'm right in saying that is the ambition she's most proud of. Melanie, where are you? I can't even see you. Thank you. I think that's true, isn't it? It is true. Absolutely. Look, it's been a huge success, and some of you may have forgotten some of the metrics around that. If you think about an industry that's achieved a 32% reduction in its carbon footprint over that period of time, that has got to be a performance not exceeded anywhere else in the field of food and beverage anywhere in the world, back to the point of being we are a world leader in that, and we've set the path to go. In addition to that, we've reduced the amount of water we use by some 16%, and I know in the beginning of next year FDF will have more to say about this and continue to play a leadership role in the environmental space. If you also think about the FDF's Vision 2020, this was also inspired by Melanie, and it was perhaps the first time we really captured so clearly how much the food and drink industry is a British success story and absolutely vital to the economy. And it's great to see this message hitting home. You know, we are the largest manufacturing sector in the UK. I will say that again because we cannot keep saying this enough. We are the largest manufacturing sector in the UK. And with the benefit of having the Secretary of State here this evening, I would say when you think about the number of times that government reaches out to the food industry compared to defence, yes, we add more economic value add than defence. And you think about it does with the automotive sector, and yes, we add more economic value add than the automotive sector. This is a sector that should both be proud and be the first port of call of government in how to grow our business and how to grow this economy. And I call upon all of government to reach out to this sector to do that. But there's a few more thank yous I'd like to make. You know, Melanie's going to now be moving on to the British Property Federation, and we wish her all the very best in that. But there's also some thanks I'd like to make. First of all is to Jim Mosley, who nobly stepped in to be the interim DG at a moment's notice, and we thank you very much for that, Jim. You're doing a fabulous job as literally one Friday stopping one thing and on Monday starting another, so thank you for that. I'd also thank all those members who support the FDF so well, in particularly those that have served on the steering groups this year, and we know the extra work that entails, and I'm very grateful for that. So firstly to Jonathan Myers for taking over the Health and Wellbeing Steering Group from me. Jonathan, where are you? Jonathan? Well, he was here a minute ago, okay. We're also grateful to Lendert and Hollander for his contribution on the Sustainability Steering Group, and we also welcome Nick Vermont as his successor. And thank you for your continued and valued contribution of Martin Douglas as our chairman of the Safety and Science Steering Group. And lastly, or penultimately in fact, to Paul Freeston. Where's Paul? Thank you, Paul. Our treasurer, who's done a sterling job. Only Paul and a few select individuals know the joy of which we have gone through the pensions and other elements of the FDF's funding. So I will sorely miss that, and I know Fiona's really excited to get into that part of the role. And thanks also to Jonathan Byer. I don't know whether you're here this evening, Jonathan, who's done a fabulous job with all the SMEs. But finally, the big thank you is actually to Fiona Kendrick, I will say that again, Fiona Kendrick, for both chairing the Competitiveness Steering Group, and congratulations on your new role as President. I look forward to hearing from you in a few minutes. So, look, I promised a short speech, and that's what you've got.